in my younger years, mom and dad started me off in, Sunday school classes. And of course, then, you're a little kid, you don't know or care too much about it.
My confirmation retreat was with Team 2. And I didn't want to go. I didn't want to be confirmed. I really didn't like the Catholic Church, and but I knew I had to go.
Whenever I think back to my retreat, I think of this one moment. The missionaries put on a skit for us about how some people are suffering with a lot of different things. Just all the struggles, they showed it, and it hit me a lot.
I just remember watching it, and it was one of the first times in my life I really heard the voice of God speaking to me. And I saw myself in that girl. And I saw the Lord saying to me, that, you're really broken right now. And I knew I was, and I was really hurting. And I was just filled with a lot of hatred. And the Lord said to me, I don't want you to be like this. I want you to be with me, fall in love with, it was like that invitation I really felt in that moment. And that's really what did it for me. And I, all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, I just wanted more. I think my heart was ready and open, and Spiritus was the vessel that helped me to experience that.
I just realized all of a sudden, I'm like, this experience that I had was absolutely like incredible. It was beyond words how great it was. My heart was opened so much. I could say I was happy, I could say I was joyful, but that would be an understatement, because it was such a great joy that I had never felt before, that it was certainly God-given.
But there was one thing in particular that really struck us, and that was where the blue construction paper was laid out on the floor, and it represented a river of temptation. And then there were white circles that were placed across the river that had elements of our faith. And when we picked up those little notes that those students had written down and read some of the things that they were going through in their personal lives, we had no idea. We had absolutely no idea about how bad some of this stuff was, whether it was being pressured for sex or drugs or doing other things, cheating, whatever it was, kind of blew us away. And we both looked at each other and said, we can't relate necessarily to that, but the Spiritus missionaries can, and they're the ones that can help them get through that. And that was when we really, really felt and saw the power of this ministry.
So after high school, I went off into formation for religious life, and it was an amazing experience. And I really fell in love with the desire that was placed on my heart to enter into that formation. And I knew, though, that there was something that he was calling me to. So I kept praying and I kept discerning, and I realized what he was calling me to was to give back to Spiritus.
So I entered with Spiritus as a missionary and started the life on mission. And that was very transformative for me. That experience on Spiritus, the prayer life, the formation, the apostolate, if you will, with the young people. So after I left Spiritus, left my mission year and finished, I realized that a lot of the things that I gained from Spiritus, I carry with me on a daily basis. I could have stayed in my parish, I could have done other ministries, I could have entered right away, but I am so grateful for the time that I took to leap out of my comfort zone and say yes to God for the year, become a missionary, and it became an invaluable gift from God that I am going to use for the rest of my life.
If I didn't have Spiritus, I wouldn't be in the role I am today. Spiritus really helped me to fall in love with retreat ministry. And I just remember talking to one of my friends, and we just were like, man, we don't want to stop. Like, we want to keep doing this. Spiritus really opened me up to that desire.
There's no doubt that a number of young adults fall away from the church after they are confirmed, kind of treat that as a graduation, and then go on from there, and then maybe come back when they have children or something like that. So, I mean, those are the facts at this point in time, and I think Spiritus is probably one of the key things that we have within our diocese and within, you know, the ministry in Northeast Wisconsin to help combat that.
I would expect the lasting impact of Spiritus to continue to grow. You know, we're making stronger faith formation catechists that are going to go and work. Some will go into vocations, and so it's such a beautiful program, and the ripple effects are just grow and grow and grow and will continue to grow. I've really come to just love and admire what the program is doing, and be an advocate for it. I think that's my role, right, is to try to advocate as much as I can.
Do not hesitate at all. Don't, whatever you can give, whether it be $5, $500, anything you can give to help this program, it would be much appreciated. It's going to a wonderful cause. It makes an impact. That's one thing people might not think about at the time. I was very fortunate to have received the impact, the great positive impact it had on me. And if I know that just 1 or 2 out of the 20 kids that they, you know, do a retreat with, if I know just 1 or 2, hopefully more, were touched like I was, it means so much. You know, you can't even put a price on it.
And I honestly cannot think of my life without Spiritus. There is just an aspect of my heart and my relationship and who I am as a person that developed on mission that I don't think would have developed anywhere else.